What is up, everybody? The doctor is back in the office, and today I'm going to be bringing you a full card breakdown of UFC Fight Night. Lerone Murphy versus Movsar Evloev. Oh my days, this is a bang of a fight card. Seriously, wasn't considering putting out a video on this. I've been feeling a little bit under the weather, but there's some really intriguing matchups on this card. I love fucking Movsar versus Lerone, MVP versus Sam Patterson. I have some takes on. Roman Dolidze versus CLD. Mason Jones, channel legend. Why the fuck do I look like that, mate? And fucking Nathaniel Woods on this card versus Lucine, that fucking bum Keita. And Shamrock is fighting Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. But let's get right into this full card breakdown, starting off with Chanel Dyer versus Ravina Oliveira. Ravina Oliveira, I think she got subbed in her last fight by Stephanie Luciano back at UFC Brazil in October. She's 0-2 in the UFC. Dyer making her debut. She was undefeated in the PFL, lost her Contender Series fight. I'm gonna go with her by decision. I don't really care about who really fucking cares about this fight, but I'm gonna go with Ravina Oliveira. Nope, wait. Chanel Dyer, excuse me, by decision. Up the card to Shamrock versus Abdulaziz, Abdul Kareem Al-Jabbar, Al-Sawadi. Listen, I don't think highly of either one of these guys. I think Shamrock kind of sucks. Abdul Kareem Al-Sawadi kind of sucks also. Abdul, he's 0-1 in the UFC. Beat George Hardwick. Fucking George Hardwick, man. I mean, you're talking about a guy who is so bloody talented. George Hardwick, Cage Warriors, FC, baby. He beat him on the Contender Series. Shamrock, he blows kind of, lost to Nurullo Aliyev in his last fight, which isn't a bad loss by any means. That's kind of baby Khabib. But I think Shem's going to win this, honestly. He's better on the feet, slightly better on the feet. You know, El Sawadi will put a ton into his shots. Like, he's trying to bomb you and kill you with every shot, going 110% every single time, but isn't, you know, entirely very accurate. Can kind of blast takedowns on you, has like a nice double leg that he can blast on you, but doesn't get a ton of control time or throw up a ton of submissions. Shamrock also has really good jiu-jitsu. So if, you know, he's on his back in this fight, he could throw up like arm bars or shit off his fucking back. And then on the feet, he's got nice front kicks, knees that he can kind of punish El Sawadi with. I just kind of lean him 29-28 decision. I could see a world where, you know, Abdul Kareem El Sawadi died like a dog. What's that guy's name? Fucking whoever that dude that trumps up. Abdul Kareem El Sawadi. I could see him, you know, coming in close and bombing Shamrock with an overhand right. Because Shamrock, his defense, his boxing defense in close is not very good. It's really bad, actually. So I could see that happening, but I think Shamrock's going to do a good enough job to kind of just piece him up, keep it at range, and win this by 28-29 unanimous decision. Up the card to Louis fucking Sutherland versus Brando Pericic. I'm gonna go with Brando Pericic here. Obviously, Louis Sutherland, you know, former LFA champ, used to take a ton of steroids, now just looks like a fat blob. Got heel hooked by Walter Walker in his last fight. Brando Pericic knocked out Alicia Ellison in his debut. I think Pericic is just kind of a better grappler. Like Louis Sutherland, I'll say this, he is hard to put out on the feet. I don't think he's ever been finished as a professional on the feet, but his grappling sucks. He's going to get finished. I think Pericic will kind of time some kind of a double leg or a single leg in like the second round and finish this by ground and pound TKO. I am a little bit worried because Louis Sutherland, like, he does hit hard. Like, even in the Walter Walker fight, like, he was able to not hurt, but he was able to land cleanly on Walter Walker for the little bit of time it was on the feet and even broke Walter Walker's leg. So, you know, he does have power and is kind of fucking thick bone, but I'm going to go with Brando Pericic by second round, ground and pound TKO. I think he's going to land double leg, get Louis Sutherland down, finish him, control him, and get the finish in the second round. Moving up the card to Antonio Ciccoli versus Montas. Who the fuck is Contra Tavicius? Tingus Pingus ad name. Is he from Latvia, actually? He's from Lithuania. Close enough. Listen, Antonio Ciccoli, this guy's fucking terrible. I mean, has lost all his fights in the UFC. I forget why he has a job. Didn't he? Is he dating somebody who's like famous or something in the UFC? I don't even remember. But this guy has gotten back-to-back losses by standing guillotine to Mansur Abdul-Malik. So you're like, oh, that's a decent, you know, he's good. And then fucking Tresean Gore. This guy is lost. Like, Tresean Gore sucks. To get standing guillotined back-to-back times is pretty impressive. I'm gonna go with Montas fucking Zubelis by round 1 knockout. Antonio Tricoli has no chin. He's absolutely terrible. He has no chance in this fight. Moving up the card to another heavyweight banger, Mario fucking Pinto versus Felipe Franco. I'm going to go with Mario Pinto here. I think he's one of the very few good heavyweight, actually great heavyweight prospects. I think he's like legitimately a top 10 guy in the heavyweight division. I'm going to pick him to win this by TKO. He's beating Jonathan Denise, Austin Lane. Everybody beats Austin Lane, who will come up later in this card. Like Felipe Franco, this guy has like a lot of first round knockout power, but if he gets out of the first round, it's pretty much done for him. I just think Mario Pinto, he's better on all levels. Can grapple, composed on the feet, has nice jab, has power. He ragdolls you on the ground. We saw him do it to Jonathan Denise. Has great jiu-jitsu, or great jiu-jitsu for at least a heavyweight, which nobody else in the division really shows except like Aspinall, Spivak, Tybura to a degree. Like nobody's really showing any jiu-jitsu in the heavyweight division. Pinto fucking was throwing up, you know, arm bars on Jonathan Denise, and Denise is a pretty like decent heavyweight. So he does have those kind of levels to his game that Felipe Franco doesn't have, and a lot of heavyweights just do not have. So I'm going to take Mario Pinto by first round knockout. This guy's fucking legit. We actually do have some decent heavyweight prospects like Asplund. I don't know if Vitor Petrino counts as a prospect, but he's a guy slightly outside the rankings. Like Hokied, even though I like the shit on him, I still think he's good. Pinto's good. Like there is some hope that we can get some new blood in here to get rid of like the fucking Tyburas of the world. Fucking Tuivasas, like all the real shitbox guys who suck. The Talos and the Sharas of the world. All those guys who need to get the fuck out of here. And then moving on to the really one of the best fights on the card, in my opinion. Nathaniel Wood versus Losine Queda. Fuck Losine Queda, by the way. I mean, Nathaniel Wood won his last fight over Jose Miguel Delgado. Some colored robbery. I would agree on that one. Losine Queda, he was a former Octagon guy, and like Germany was supposed to fight Pitbull back in France. Came in like 4 pounds overweight, which is honestly ridiculous, and then proceeded to try and convince Pitbull to fight. And Pitbull's like, fuck that, I'm not doing that. You know, Losine Queda, the Black Iliad Taporia. He's very dangerous. The UFC wants him to win this. They want him to be good. They've given him big names like Pitbull and Nathaniel Wood, two guys who were either ranked or just outside the rankings. But I like Nathaniel Wood here, you know. Queda, we don't really know enough about in terms of him fighting like high-level dudes just in general as a professional. Like, I just think Nathaniel Wood's more well-rounded, more accurate, can mix in a ton of kicks, and when Losine Queda gets kicked, he kind of just fucking shells up and balls up and just lets himself get kicked into oblivion. He does have a lot of power, though, and can step in and land like a nasty fucking knee on you. But Queda's always looking for a KO. Nathaniel Wood, I just think, has more avenues to win, more methods to win. Is perfectly comfortable kind of just piecing him up and just being technically sound, technical masterclass. I just think he's going to pick apart Losine Queda. I could see him kind of... The one thing that worries me about Nathaniel Wood, because he always gets fucking hurt in every single one of his fights, even the ones he wins, and he's always, you know, victim of a robbery decision every now and then. I could see him going up 2-0 on Losine Queda and then getting brutalized in the third round, like fucking live leak, feared Bucks putting it out there on Twitter, and he just dies against Losine Queda. That could very well happen, but I'm going to stick with Nathaniel Wood. I'm going to pick him to win this by, oh shit, I almost sneezed there, by decision. Moving on, and these are my fucking, not really Axel Sola, Mason Jones is my boy. Moving on to the featured fight on the prelims, Mason Jones, versus Axel Sola. Both these guys last fought in that fucking Paris card in August. I love Mason Jones. He's so fun to watch. Axel Sola, he's an undefeated guy. Finished Reese McKee in his debut. Mason Jones 3-2 in the UFC. Since his return back to the UFC, he's 2-0. Beat Jeremy Stevens, beat Balagioki, and that Balagioki fight was insane. You know, Balagioki just comes out like a fucking bat out of hell, like he comes out in every fight. You know, knocks down Mason Jones, or looks like he's going to finish him. Mason Jones battles back, gets a finish in round 2. I like Mason Jones here. More experience, more well-rounded, more avenues to win. Cleaner striker. You know, Sola is pretty good in the clinch, but his takedown defense is suspect. It's not particularly great. Mason Jones can out-grapple him, control him. Saw him do it to Balagioki. Can mix in sick combinations. And also, if Axel Sola is to hurt him, like, we've seen Mason Jones be able to bounce back and win a fight despite getting rocked pretty badly. I'll say Axel Solo also has like nasty uppercuts in close, has a lot of power, but I just lean Mason Jones here. Better grappler. More well, I don't know what the fuck that was. More well-rounded. I just like him in this one by decision. Moving on to the main card, Curtis fucking the Pink Panther Campbell versus Danny Silva. And one quick thing about fucking Curtis Campbell. How is this guy allowed to fucking wear whatever shorts he wants, and then other dude, like I think Charles Johnson was trying for fucking pink shorts and they didn't let him do that, but Curtis Campbell, there's nobody who's making his debut, beat fucking Demba Sack. Who the fuck is this? Demba Sack, and gets to wear fucking pink shorts. It's fucking ridiculous. But how is this even on the main card? First of all, Danny Silva, I know he's lost to Kevin Vacheios, and I think maybe like Lucas, did he lose to Lucas Almeida in there too, or beat Lucas Almeida? Yeah. Again, he's really a nobody also. I don't know why this is on the main card. I think Danny Silva like has better striking than a lot of the dudes Curtis Campbell has fought from what I've seen. But I think Curtis Campbell's just better at range, can get the body lock takedown, you know, has good grappling. Silva's a pretty competent striker, and I think this fight will be close. Like, I think Danny Silva will have his moments where he hurts Curtis Campbell in some exchanges, but I think Curtis Campbell has good fight IQ, is going to be able to fight, like, smart enough in this fight, land takedowns, get control, do ground and pound, and just do enough to win this fight by 29-28 decision. Again, I don't know why the fuck these guys are on the main card. Who gives a fuck about Curtis Campbell and Danny Silva? Move their asses to the fucking prelims. Now, here's a fight we all care about. Roman Dolidze versus Christian Leroy Duncan, CLD. If Roman Dolidze wins this, they have to fucking nuke the middleweight division. This is embarrassing. Roman Dolidze, I don't really even think he wants to be in there anymore. Like, he is pretty durable. That's the thing about Roman Dolidze. Hard to finish on the feet, but has great jiu-jitsu. Like, he can't really offensively grapple that well, but if you try and exchange and grappling exchanges with him, he can reverse and just fucking fluke a submission on you. But I like Christian Leroy Duncan. I kind of like him by decision. He's so much better on the feet. And his last fight against Marco Tulio, which was so goofy. I mean, this guy was trying to break the record for most spinning attacks thrown in a fight and would put himself in some bad positions, which kind of worries me against Roman Dolidze because he could always just fucking fluke a submission. But I just trust CLD to win more. Again, the discrepancy on the feet is so massive that it doesn't matter. And there was reports on Twitter. Now, these were all probably fake, but people from Roman Dolidze's camp like leaking out that this guy's just here for a paycheck, is gonna fucking lose. I don't really think he wants to be here anymore. And now that I'm thinking about it, I'm just gonna pick CLD by late finish in the third round. Roman Dolidze, if you win this, then we have to be like, oh, is Roman Dolidze good? He sucks. CLD hopefully puts him out in the third round with some stupid spinning shit. If he just fights smart, he'll win this. I guess I could see a world where he gets a little too crazy with the spinning attacks, maybe puts himself in a bad position, and again, Roman Dolidze can fucking lock up a sub, take him down, lock in a sub. I just don't think that's going to happen. I just have so much more confidence in CLD than I do in fucking Roman Dolidze, who just sucks at this point. The Fluffy, I mean, he just got run through by Fluffy so badly. But whatever. CLD by late finish. Iwo Baraneski versus Austin Lane in the, the feature fight? No, not the feature fight, the main card. I don't even know why Austin Lane is here. This guy literally loses to everybody. He's lost to fucking Vitor Petrino, Mario Pinto, Jonathan Deniz, even fucking Justin Toff has a finish on this guy. And that was all at heavyweight. And now he's moving down to light heavyweight for some reason. He's going to be dehydrated. His chin already sucks. Iwo Baraneski is going to blitz in and just finish him. Now, the one thing that worries me for Iwo is I guess like Austin Lane is a better grappler. And like even against Ivo Aslan, like Ivo, you know, took a lot of damage in that fight in terms of he's open to getting hit. And Austin Lane has a big size and reach advantage in this fight. But just to go down to light heavyweight when your chin is already shit, I have no faith in you. I think Iwo Baraneski is just going to put the pressure on him, get in his face, back him up, and just run through him and get a finish. Austin Lane's terrible. Baraneski's just going to blitz in, finish him, bomb him. Round one over. Moving on to the feature fight on the main card. Michael Venom Page versus Sam Patterson. Sam Patterson's one of the OGs on this channel. And originally when this fight was announced, everybody's like, oh, this is crazy. This is crazy. Why is Michael Page? He just beat Jared Cannonier. Why is he fighting, a guy at welterweight, let alone an unranked welterweight prospect? And I agree, it was very odd matchmaking. And people were already like, oh, MVP's going to put this guy out cold. MVP doesn't even have a finish in the UFC. He finishes nobody. And I'm going to be different here and pick Sam Patterson to win by round 2 finish. My problem with MVP, who I kind of like, I've never been the biggest hater of him, never been the biggest fan. I always say to people who glaze MVP, the idea of MVP in the UFC is better than what it's actually been. Like, he just fucking dances around on the outside, emotes on you, he'll blitz in, land 2, rights on you, go like whoop, he'll go like whoop, and then that's really it. And once you've seen one MVP highlight, you've seen them all. We've all seen that fucking one in Bellator where he knees the jumping knee, and fucking Big Dan Murgliata's like, oh, it's pretty crazy. But again, these are all highlights from years ago when he actually could get finishes. He can't do that anymore. He just ore farms. And again, all his highlights are from fucking Bellator, and he just beat up on cans and old men. I'm going to take Sam Patterson because he's on a nice win streak. He can take you down. And I'll say this about MVP. I don't even think his takedown defense is terrible, but when you can get him down, you will just hold him down for an entire round. MVP has no get-ups, no scramble ability. Sam Patterson can submit you. He's coming off 2 nasty knockouts over Trey Waters and Danny Barlow. I know they're not the best names, but he's got them. He also has the size to match up very well with MVP, which a lot of guys do not have the size. MVP is this giant, long, lanky welterweight. Sam Patterson, I think, is 6'3", 78-inch reach, and MVP's 6'3", 79-inch reach. So both very long guys. Sam Patterson can match him in that aspect. He's also a better technical boxer with more power. We've seen MVP kind of be hittable against the fence. Like, he's so good out in the open. He has elite level footwork with his feints. He can blitz in perfectly. He is so fast and athletic. But he's hittable up against the fence. He can get taken down. We saw Jared Cannonier literally just hold this guy on the ground for the entire 3rd round. And also, one of my big problems when people fight MVP is people are I always find it funny when they fight him and are scared to hit him, because he doesn't knock anybody out anymore. So don't really he just throws 2 punches. He forces the fight to be extremely boring because I don't even know what it is. The threat of him knocking you out, he doesn't even knock you out anymore. He just runs in, hits you twice with a right and a left, and that's it. And then just dances around on the outside. That's all he does. And I don't think Sam Patterson's going to be scared to engage with this guy. When MVP blitzes in, Sam Patterson has a nasty jab that he can use to intercept MVP. He also has better one-shot KO power than MVP. Really, and another thing, the optics around this match, which is also kind of leading me to pick Sam Patterson. MVP the last couple months has been so weird, just going out on interviews, openly complaining about the matchmaking, which I'm not saying he's wrong for doing, but just his future in the UFC just seems very weird. Just some bad vibes around him. I just think Patterson is going to win this fight, take him down in that 2nd round, and just control MVP, ground and pound finish, or he just catches him coming in with a jab and then takes him and then, finishes him ground and pound TKO. MVP just doesn't finish anybody anymore. He can't grapple, and Sam Patterson can match him in every facet in terms of he can match him with the size and the grappling. And we already fucking know he can match him with the fucking grappling. That was a dumb thing to say. But he can just match him with the size, which a lot of other welterweights can't. Moving on to the co-main of Luke fucking Riley versus Michael Aswell Jr. I don't know why the fuck I did that. Michael Aswell Jr. I don't know how this is the co-main. I get Luke Riley looked good in his debut against Bogdan Grad. That was a good win. Congrats. Michael Aswell's fucking coming off a win where he beat Lucas Almeida, who literally everybody knew that he had a broken hand coming into the fight, and he sucks. That's the dumbest thing ever. Michael Aswell, he can box pretty effectively, has a good chin, good cardio, but he doesn't have any power whatsoever. The one thing that'll be interesting, though, is Luke Riley's takedown defense is not good. It's pretty suspect. He kind of sucks. But Aswell's doesn't shoot a ton, but it'll be interesting to see, if he mixes that in. I honestly think he could win this fight in decision, but I think Luke Riley, slightly cleaner on the feet. I think he's going to have the bigger moments, a little bit more exciting. Will piece up Michael Aswell more. I think this will be a pretty fun fight, but I'm going to go Luke Riley by decision. Michael Aswell, I just don't think he's that good, and if he doesn't mix in the grappling enough, I just can't really see him winning this fight. Moving on to the main event. Movsar Evloev versus Lerone Murphy. I'm really excited for this one. Title eliminator, true number one contenders fight. Someone's going to lose their zero. One of these dudes should have already fought Volk for the belt. Instead, we have to fucking get Diego Lopez 5. I'm going to go with Movsar here. And listen, I just don't think Lerone Murphy has the takedown defense or the finishing ability or the power to finish Movsar, or necessarily to just out-damage him over the course of 5 rounds. Like, I don't think he can win this by damage-based decision. I think he just needs a finish if he wants to win. He gets taken down far too much. We've seen him get taken down by fucking Dan Ige, Josh Emmett. Who else has he got taken down by? Aaron Pico in his last. Aaron Pico has some wrestling credentials, but he gets taken down way too easily. Now, he does do a good job, I'll say. He doesn't really get controlled much, and he does do a nice job, like, working to get up to the fence. But Movsar is just a different level of a grappler. You know, he's fought better strikers than Lerone, like a Diego Lopez. Arnold Allen, I think, is kind of comparable to Lerone Murphy, but he might have more power than Lerone. And he dropped Arnold Allen, you know what I mean? In the grappling department, it isn't close whatsoever. Lerone Murphy's not really going to submit anybody. Movsar's a pretty, like, intelligent boxer. You know, has a good chin. We've seen it hold up. He can pressure you. Lerone kind of likes to fight off of his back foot and is, you know, open to doing that. He just leaves himself so open to getting taken down, though. Movsar can take his back pretty easily, hold him down, do some ground and pound, out-scramble him. Like, Lerone Murphy's not going to beat this guy in scrambling exchanges or sequences whatsoever. He also, Movsar chain wrestles beautifully. He's going to smother you, land enough ground and pound to win rounds. Lerone just needs a finish. Like, could he fluke a knee? I know that's always the easiest thing to say when you're talking about, like, how a fucking... when you're talking about, like, a wrestler fighting a quote-unquote striker. It's like, oh, if he comes, shoots a takedown, and he could time a knee. Well, if he misses the knee, then he's fucked. You know what I mean? But it's always a possibility. And sometimes Movsar, I kind of forget the exact how he does it, but he kind of will telegraph his takedowns in terms of, like, he'll throw a cross and then shoot on the left side or something. I kind of forget. I saw a breakdown of it. So, you know, if Lerone Murphy's takedown defense is drastically improved, I could see him winning this one. But I just think he needs a finish. And you're facing one of the greatest decision merchants of all time, the Bilal Muhammad of fucking featherweight. This guy's not going to lose the decision. He's not going to get a finish either. He's too efficient with his takedowns. I just think he's going to win this by decision, like 49-46. I don't expect it to be incredibly exciting. And another thing I'll say about this fight, who gives a fuck? Like, if Movsar wins, it's not who gives a fuck. You know what I mean? If Movsar wins, don't be surprised if they fucking do John Silva versus Volk. They do not want Movsar near the belt whatsoever. Lerone, I could definitely see them do Volk versus Volk. Lerone versus Volk, because, like, at least Lerone has a personality. He's kind of cool, and he's black, and he speaks English. Movsar barely speaks any fucking English. Or he speaks some English, but not nearly as good as Lerone. Lerone's from England. They could just kind of keep tapping into that market. Movsar, he doesn't have really that big of a fan base, but I think Movsar is going to win this. Just far better grappler, can box intelligently. Lerone Murphy's takedown defense, I think, is suspect in terms of this guy's gotten taken down by so many dudes who I don't really think are, like, these grappling artists, like a fucking Dan Ige, a Josh Emmett, Aaron Pico. Like, just, that concerns me, and it's been throughout his career. You know what I mean? So it's like, how much of a jump up in his takedown defense are we really going to see when he's already, 36 years old? 34 years old? I'm going to go with Movsar Evloev by unanimous decision. And that's my predictions for the card. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. The doctor is signing off.